Claire, should we trust what staff are telling us about sickness?
Broadly speaking, I would hope that you could. Yes, Sonia.
So that's it then. Yes, job done. Top tip done.
It's as easy as that. Yeah.
It's never as easy as that when the law's involved, and that's probably a good thing. So tell us more, Claire.
Okay, so while if you've got a member of staff who has the odd day off sick here and there, there's probably nothing to worry about there. It's if you start to perhaps notice a pattern that you might want to ask some more questions, sensitively, of course. For example, is your colleague not coping and taking sort of fairly regular days off here and there just to stay afloat? If so, there may be other support you can offer, or even just a sympathetic ear to help them get through a difficult patch. It's worth remembering that employees are unlikely to be able to get a fit note or even potentially to have a consultation with their GP for absences of a week or less. You know, we all know that it can be difficult to get a GP appointment. So you need to be realistic in what you're expecting. But obviously, if the absence is longer term, or if you've spotted a definite pattern, you can seek their consent to write to their GP yourself, or perhaps to make a referral for them to your occupational health provider. And when you're doing something like that, you should remember that the information you get back is only going to be as good as the questions you ask. So just make sure that you ask for the information that you actually need. And something that it's important to do here is just to check your absence management policy before you start down this road, just to see exactly what that says about getting medical reports.
Brilliant. So it sounds like, yes, let's in the first instance trust what staff are telling us about sickness. But also then there are steps to support going beyond that. It also sounds like we can't realistically expect, and there's no legal need to expect a sick note for any level of sickness, because there is that level of you can self-certify for the first few days.
Yes, that's right. So requiring somebody to get a doctor's note, you know, for a day off that's just not going to happen. I mean, the other thing is, obviously, if you have reason to believe that your employee is not telling the truth, then that is potentially a conduct issue. So you can investigate that, and if there is, if you think there's evidence that points towards that being deliberate, then you can potentially take disciplinary action. But what I would say is, don't rush to judgment if you see somebody, for example, who's off sick but posting about attending a social event or even perhaps going on holiday. Because if they're suffering from stress or anxiety or depression, then doing that kind of activity could actually be a useful part of their therapy or recovery. So I think communication is the key here. As with all employment issues, you know, you need to aim to foster a culture where honest and open communication about time off is the norm, so that people aren't worried about having those conversations with you.
Nice. It's a classic, isn't it? Someone's phoned in sick and then we see them on social media. But I guess what you're saying there is, you know, if I said to you, I can't walk today, and then I post that I've done a 5K run,
yes,
that probably is one where it's like, okay, is it really that you can't walk because you're doing a 5K run? But as you say, if it's that you know, it's a mental health issue, then actually going out for something social might be really good. It's almost part of my medicine, if you like, to help me get better. So it's not just straightforward. You're off sick.
That's right.
Life, and you should be at home in bed, and that's it, because you're not in work.
Indeed, context is everything.
Great way of putting it, and far more succinct than I manage. And if you would like to hear more of these succinct gems from Claire, because I know how brilliant she is at these, then Claire will be joining us at our conference, Kindly and Effectively Tackling Underperformance in Schools. 2 keywords there, kindly and effectively. Claire's going to be sharing how to do that within the law, how to do it in a way that is true to your values, and she'll be joining us at our conference. We'll pop the link below so that you can come and join, and also take part in a big Q&A session we like to run at the end of the day, don't we, Claire, with more of these questions. But if you want to hear more of Claire's top tips or my own, then make sure you check out the other videos and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Claire.